Well, you know, I'm not going to guess what she meant by that, but she said that if Highland didn't spruce up, we might get a Walmart. And God forbid, evidently, that we would get a Walmart. So the Highland Business Association wants total new streetscaping, new boulevards, new sidewalks, new trees in the boulevard, new wrought iron fences around the trees, new lighting. So she is proposing that the district council get together with the Highland Business Association and ask the city to pay for this. Public Works through the CIB grant.
Yeah. Okay.
And what she wanted, what somebody proposed was to give up to $1,500 for a nice glossy presentation that could be given to the other part of government, so that one part of government could ask another part of government for money.
Okay.
And
sounds like a government action in, in action.
Well, I wrote a letter to the editor saying I thought that was terrible. And so I went to the executive committee meeting. The executive committee meeting is the 4 officers and the chairs of each standing committee. And all of a sudden, because the letter came out the day of the executive committee meeting, the proposal had changed, and maybe we don't need $1,500, maybe we need $1,000, and maybe the Highland District Council can find this money itself, rather than...
See, you are an action maker.
Well, the day after the meeting, I received an email from the president of the District Council, Tim Puffer, saying that he had erred in allowing me to attend that meeting, and that from now on executive committee meetings would be closed because they want to have frank and open discussion. And evidently they can't do that when a member of the community is sitting there.
Oh, I see. Oh, so they want to have secret discussions, and they don't want the reporters, like Georgia Dietz, to hear what they're talking about.
Frank and open. You know, I don't know, I'm hindering frank and open for some, reason. But I thought that that was interesting, because when I replied, he said there are other venues and avenues in which you can participate. And when I sent him an email saying, this is news to me, when did this resolution pass? Is this in the minutes? When did this happen? And could you please respond? He didn't respond at all.
Oh, yeah.
So I looked on the Highland District Council's website, and they were advertising that the October executive committee meeting would be open to the public.
Oh, well, that's good news.
That's what I thought.
Right.
Then you look someplace else on their website, it says all HDC meetings are open to the public.
That's even better news.
That's what I thought. I thought, well, I watched their website all the month of October. It never changed. This meeting open to the public. So I went. And Bill Polis, who was also on Community Services, went, because Community Services had actually passed a resolution. This is a little off the track, but we had passed a resolution that we would give some grant money to businesses, and they would use the grant money to hire off-duty police officers over the holidays. We had done this in 2007. We had a 1-to-1 matching program. And so we were thinking maybe a 3-to-1 matching program, so Lund's or Cooper's on West 7th would have the benefit of off-duty police, just have more police presence in Highland over the holidays. So we had passed this resolution. So this is going to be discussed at the October 27th executive committee meeting. So we wanted to go and maybe speak.
Right.
Listen to what they said, and came in the room, and the president, Tim Puffer, said the meeting was closed. And did we have anything to say? And I had a camera, and we said no, because they hadn't started to even talk about what we wanted to talk about. He said, well, then you need to leave. This is a closed meeting. We're going into an executive session. And Mr. Polis says, I think you need to vote on that. So, so they quickly,
so they quickly took a vote.
Well, I don't even think without any malcontent. They just said. So I turned my camera on. I said, I'm not leaving. It says on your website this is an open meeting. I'm not leaving. And Mr. Polis went out in the hall. Did what they told him to do. Went out in the hall. And so the community organizer, Kathy Caruth, evidently went out in the hall, and as she's passing him, says, "You are such a loser, Bill, get a life."
Oh my gosh, and she's hired
Paid.
to
Paid.
work with the public, correct?
Kathy Caruth is the community organizer. She's paid $20 an hour to what St. Paul says help foster citizen participation. Citizens coming, citizens being involved. And you're a citizen sitting out in the hall and she calls you a loser.
Well, I will have to share with you so that you don't feel alone, is that in Maplewood, we currently have a mayor who will point at a citizen and say, "You are an idiot and a buffoon." So perhaps they're going to the same schooling of manners, in the political arena. I don't know, but it's interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Or is that maybe how you chill public participation?
You know, if I don't mean to disagree with you, but if the citizens elected your mayor, then they get what they wanted. But we elected board members to the district council, and they hired her.
Ah, right.
So I guess the answer is to, at the next election, remove them, because I went to the November meeting, and they're talking about giving her up to $1,600 bonus.
Oh, I see. Well, because she is doing what they want her to do.
Yes, I guess she
That's
is.
probably right.
Yes.
Now, you did bring some of your film footage with you, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Because what fun would a story be if we didn't have some film footage?
That's right.
So let's take a look here and see if our control room is ready with that film footage. And what was the date of this meeting again?
10/27.
Okay, very good. It's very recent. So let's go ahead.
So constant. You're like a bully, Bill. You're like
not saying anything. He has a minute, and then we're getting going.
And I certainly didn't appreciate being told to get a life, and you're so sad, and you. I think that's just out of character. I'm a community member here, and I'm very interested in what's going on in the district council, and certainly would like you folks to at least have your meetings open to the public. I'm not sure why you want to meet in private, but certainly on personnel matters I respect that. But for other matters, I don't know why you would want to, and I leave that at that. I'm not here to disrupt anything. I'm just here to basically watch the proceedings.
We do have that minute, and we need to get into executive session. So I'm asking you and George to leave.
I guess we'll have to call the police and have her escorted out.
Could you let staff know that we have a problem back here?
Sure.
What does it say? Does it say in the bylaws that it's a closed session meeting?
It doesn't say either way.
It doesn't.
De facto, for the last couple of years, it's been, no one has wanted to come. We only have impact on the office and on the rest of the board.
And it's setting the agenda for the
board has oversight. Board members are welcome to come. There's never been a need for public input, so it's never been advertised as a public meeting.
Well, it says on your website, these meetings are open to the public. I am the public. This is printed off today. This is referring to the October 27th meeting. It has been on there all month that this has been on your calendar. I don't know what other meeting these meetings are open to the public has. And on your website, it also says all HDC meetings are open to the public.
It doesn't mean that anybody can come in and comment and disrupt a meeting.
I'm not disrupting.
Only committee members are speaking, and I'm not a committee member. We're supposed to be in executive session right now. You're disrupting the meeting.
I won't speak anymore then.
Do any committee members have a suggestion on what to do about this?
Why are you videotaping us? I'm just wondering.
Are you addressing me to speak?
So anyway, this is very fascinating because now they were going to be talking about some of the budget issues,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And about how they were going to spend the money
Yes.
that they were given by the city
Yes.
of St. Paul,
Yes.
that the council of St. Paul had allocated to
Yes,
them.
that's right.
And so they're going to be talking about taxpayer dollars and how they're going to spend that money.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. The district council gets a certain amount of money and has to spend it by the end of the year, or it has to give what is remaining back. So they were going to talk about what are we going to do with our remaining budget. And when we were in our community services committee, we had a sheet they had passed out at the October meeting. This is what we have left. So being in charge of spending crime prevention, we had passed 4 resolutions on how to spend the remaining crime prevention money.
Right.
And we wanted to hear what the executive committee was going to say.
Right, because that would help you working on this subcommittee
Right.
to know how to either reformulate your priorities,
right.
What priorities maybe that your subcommittee had that was in alignment with the executive board. I mean, that would only make sense. It's the very same money that you have made resolutions about.
That's right.
Interesting.
But Mr. Puffer says 3 things to me. He says these meetings have been de facto closed. Well, what the heck does that mean? I called Pat Harris's office, our city councilman, and his aide said to me at 4 o'clock that afternoon, these meetings have been de facto closed. So then I come to the meeting and Mr. Puffer says, these meetings have been de facto closed. And I had never heard that expression before.
Right, right. Well, that's like one time long ago in Maplewood when we didn't have a responsible authority as you're required to under Chapter 13. And I was told by the then city manager, this was before I was elected as mayor, that I was told, well, we have a de facto responsible authority, which of course means nothing because there is no such thing under the law.
Well,
And I don't think there's any such thing as a de facto closed meeting either. Not that I've seen.
And he also says no one has come to these meetings. Well, I was there the previous month. I guess I'm no one. And the third thing is he said they've never been advertised as being open. Well, I saved my villagers, and yes, they have been.
Right. And you do have the printout, don't you, of the page from the
Yes,
web
yes, yes.
page that you talked about?
The meeting was Thursday night, I believe. Friday, it still said open to the public. And then Saturday, it just mysteriously disappeared. And also, on their website where it used to say all meetings are open, now it says meetings are open.
Oh, I see. Yes. Oh, yeah. So you can guess which one. Now, I understand that we have a caller on the line.
Oh.
Caller, questions or comments for us this evening? Thank you, first of all, for calling.
Hi, Mayor Longry. This is, of course, another fascinating show. And whenever I turn on the radio, turn on the TV, listen to my elected officials, whether in the local level or in the U.S. Congress, I go to schools. All I hear, or either I remember from elementary school all the way up to college, everybody looking for citizen participation in terms of the government. How do we get the citizens to be welcomed at their government so they participate? It's just like a never-ending chant. And then I turn on the TV, and whether it's the President of the United States, the U.S. Congressperson, the local city council, the county board, the state legislature, they're always proclaiming how transparent they are.
Oh, yeah.
And what shocks me, and maybe give me some clue into the mindset of these elected officials, why is there such hypocrisy? And of course, Highland is just the most dramatic example that you've just pointed out here. But I've watched your shows and I've seen the hypocrites up there at the Maplewood City Council. I've seen the hypocrites in the St. Paul U.S. Congress position. And I'm wondering, what is it about these elected officials when somebody comes up with a suggestion, who comes up well-informed, who comes up with a camera, why do they all turn their backs and run? Why are they always running away from the people who they ask and plead and grovel to participate? I think there's less transparency now than ever, and I'm glad you guys are really working on this issue because There's nothing more harmful to good government, to public service, to this democracy than the hypocrites. And the only thing worse than that I can think of is hypocrites with power.
Oh, boy. Now, that's a statement. Nothing more dangerous.